Welcome to Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Spurs. Today we are previewing the match between Liverpool and Tottenham taking place on Sunday, kickoff 4:30 at Anfield. I've got Chuma with me on the line. Guys, you got to tell us what you think about this new look. We'll talk about it on the other side in a minute. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to Come On You Spurs TV. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, leave us a share if you want to share with your colleagues, and as much as possible, let this go viral. We love being here, and yeah, we talk about everything Spurs on this channel. It's been going for a short while now, and we're having fun all the way. Today, I've got Chuma on the line with me. We are previewing the match between Liverpool and Tottenham, coming very, very hot on the heels of Ryan Mason's debut appearance, well, second debut, if you like, because as interim manager after selling his sacking. I know he was interim manager when Jose Mourinho got sacked at the tail end of a couple of years ago. Anyway, we are here now, and yes, how are you?
Oh, I'm super, 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 super blessed, psyched for this for the weekend. Wonderful bank holiday. It's actually sunny. Everything is falling into place, and the draw against Manchester United did a lot to help that. So, as a Spurs fan, yeah, I'm pretty optimistic.
Yes, I mean, I was well, we had the preview program. We had a Man U fan on the last one. Unfortunately, we haven't got a Liverpool fan on today's one, but it's okay. We can live with that. We got you, we got me. So hey, let's do this. I
Yeah,
know that. I mean, they kind of gave me a bit of a good birthday present, didn't they? Because
yeah, indeed.
I was hoping that we would come away with a win on that one. Okay, it was probably a tall order given where we're coming from, off the back of a 6-1 dropping at St. James's Park. And few give us a chance to actually get a result from this match. I mean, having gone 2-0 down in the first half, and it was looking like, here we go again, But we managed to, well, salvage a draw is not quite the word. We actually turned it around quite well. And it could have gone either way in the end, and I think probably it seemed like we seem to be the team likely to come away with the points, even though they had a chance that they sort of I don't know how that shot didn't go in from Fernandez, but it proved to be crucial in the end to the
Exactly,
results.
exactly, exactly.
You saw
I
that
think
match,
those are
didn't you?
yeah, those are. So I didn't actually watch the game live. I watched it afterwards. So,
Right,
but I was living through the WhatsApp group where I
right.
was. I was living through the WhatsApp group, and first half I saw the sentiment. Everyone was like, "Oh God, same old, same old." I was actually kind of disappointed with the seeing the first half results being 2-0 because I like the fact that Mason kept it the same, and I like the fact that he put on Richarlison and not Kulusevski, and he played Richarlison on the left. My whole thing is, I really support Ryan Mason. I support what he's doing because that squad was tailor made for Antonio Conte. Now, there's an argument about his players, not his players, all that stuff, but they've been indoctrinated into Antonio Conte's methods. There's nothing Mason can do, turn it around so quickly. So for me, it was just about the midfield and defense. And I think, especially Porro and Romero, there seems to be a bit of a breakdown between the two of them defensively, not offensively, but defensively. And that's how Sancho scored. And, for me, it was like, it showed a lot of result. That second half where they came out ready to play. Manchester United, the Bruno Fernandes chance apart, I think defensively Spurs were better than they were in the first half, and then they they were going for it, and that's all we've ever asked as Spurs fans is just go for it. It doesn't matter if you lose, just show us you're going for it, especially with the environment being slightly toxic because of the Daniel Levy out
Situation, right?
brigade, and yeah, so it was such a huge turnaround. I was happy for Pedro Porro. um I was happy for Son because Son missed a gilt edged chance that honestly we wouldn't have forgiven him had we lost the game. Oh my god, Son, that's who you wanted to fall to. If this was last season, he's lashing that at the top corner. And second chance, he did it next time. Dyer missed that wonderful free header. So there were chances created. For the first time, it felt good to see chances created. They didn't drop their heads. They came out to fight, which is what fans have been calling for them to do. And I think, there was that quote I think someone put on the group by Julian Nagelsmann, ironically, where he says football training is 30% tactics, but 70% like social competence and how man management. And you can tell that Mason has better man management skills, I think, in trying to get these guys to be more positive. And no, it was a great ending to it, and I understood why he decided to settle for the draw because if we'd gone out fully, if you remember Brentford, the exact same thing. They got out and they now went full out. He had a lot of attackers on one counter they scored. United were capable of doing that. So for me, I took the draw. Felt like a win. We won the second half. They won the first half. That's how I look at it. So.
Yeah, fair enough. I think one of the things about that match, if anything, was the fighting spirit. The fact that Mason's made some really good tactical changes and substitutions at the key moments, and they seem to have paid off in the end. And also the fact that kind of able to sort of perhaps get his message across to the team. But I mean, you find the odd spot of criticism that says that look, this is no different from what we had Conte when we always played first, second half, and not very well in the first half. Well, how is this different from the other one? And no, the thing I would say about that is this, right? I mean, even though we went in 2-0 down in the first half, it wasn't like we didn't create chances as well. We actually created a few chances as well, and those chances that they gone in, I mean, we're talking something totally different now. I think Romero had a header, or was it Longley against the bar?
Longley had one. Perisic had a chance that
Yes, I'm
saved.
personally chance that the hair pushed out as well, and if you had gone either side of the hair, that ball would have been, But hey, it wasn't for lack of creativity on our part to get to there. The sinking feeling we still get is this, right? Anytime we have a good team or a team that has got a strong forward line come against our defense, we just seem to just not know what to do, especially where you have creative players. I mean, look at Isaac against our defense last week. Having said that, Isaac has been on good form. I don't know if you
No,
saw.
the thing about it is, a lot of people will feel Alexander Isak is he was linked to Spurs a couple of seasons ago. He is a very good player. He was seen as the heir to Ibrahimovic. He played for Malmo, moved to Dortmund. That boy is, and in Spain, it's taken him a while to get acclimatized to the physicality of the English league.
Mm-hmm.
And the setup Newcastle have makes it perfect for him. It's almost like, that gentleman down the road, the legend that is there called Henry. A similar kind of flow. Just put him wide, test your wide guys, bring him in center, and he will kill you. And so he was, yeah, and we were poorly set up. But the thing I feel is, I've always said the same thing every single time. Midfield is the key to everything. Once your
True.
midfield is solid, your defenders don't really have to kill themselves. And today I went on this whole mega tactics rant on the group, but it was mainly because I've been watching things on all the teams, and everybody's copying the same system. There's like a box midfield where there are always four to outnumber the three in midfield because most teams are either playing 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, and everybody's copying the same thing to try and create, except Spurs. Spurs are the only team I think that are not well, one of like 4 or 5 teams, and those other teams are bottom as well, or they're bottom. Spurs are not, but we're one of the only ones not adhering to this new thing where people are trying to create superiority. And it's something I think Mason is aware of. I don't think he can change that quickly. But it's something, like I said, I don't understand how the previous manager never adapted. There's so many things out there now that several managers are using, and they're doing the exact same things. All of them. The great Pep Guardiola is doing it now. And you're like, it's midfield. Once he owns your midfield, you're seeing it now. Stones is in midfield for City. Arteta is bringing Zinchenko in. De Zerbi is bringing in Veltman into midfield,
Well, having
creating
said that,
something.
though, having said that, it wasn't like we didn't try that against City. I think the match we won against City, we kind of pulled that into the middle when
Yeah,
we're being
yes,
overrun.
yes, yes.
You
But
know,
it's different. So what they did at City was different from what the other teams are doing. Though it was a very brave move, and it was Mason. From all accounts, they said it was Mason that suggested it. Why don't you get him to mark their 10? He's not doing anything. Where they're only playing one striker. Put him, and it was brilliant. It was a brilliant move, and I think Mason's capable of that. Unfortunately, the turnaround between Stellini leaving the United game and now the Liverpool game, I think with these kind of things, you need like a week, like clear week preparation, or 2 weeks to
ideally,
really
right?
try. Yeah, ideally to try and get these things to stick. You can only give the instructions and see. Also, the fact that Harry Kane dropped deep, and he dropped deep in a way very similar to how it was last season. He's tried to drop deep this season. It's worked a bit, but that United game, you saw the Kane dropping deep of last season. And someone put it brilliantly. He said the problem has not been Kane dropping deep. The problem was Son is out of form, because Kane looks for Son, and a fully firing Son, Kane would find him every time and score. But watch what's been happening. Son's been poor in possession. He's not running to certain spaces because he's tentative. He said, but in that game, you saw Son sort of doing his thing, and Kane found him twice, and one was a goal. Could easily have been 2 goals for Son, and then on a
Totally.
good day. So yeah, there are these little bright shoots of improvement a bit. Some people can say, "Oh, they didn't see anything," but I saw that in that second half. I thought I watched it again and again, and I was like, yes, I can see, different things. Pedro Porro, I still like him. I think he's a very good player. That goal, the technique in that goal. I mean, how many people can really just do that bounce hit, and that are fullbacks or wingbacks? How many?
Well, I think it wasn't just his technique. There was also Perisic technique as well to get the ball out across in the first place as well.
Outside of the
You know,
it's Perisic's job.
yeah. So
Well, Perisic as well. That was probably positionally, that was probably Perisic's best game for Spurs
yeah,
in a
absolutely,
long time.
absolutely. He had a
He
really good
put
game
in
on
like
that on
two,
that
three,
on that,
four
on that
crosses.
match.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 crosses Perisic put in away. They were absolute blinders, and he saved a shot off the line
We've kind of had sort of a
as well.
mixed
As Romero had a
bag, if
good
you
game.
like, of form coming up to this match. And if you look at both teams, and let's just have a quick look at the form guide, just to see where both teams are in terms of the form. I mean, if you look at us, we've got one of the last 6 games, which even that one wasn't particularly inspiring victory. It was good victory in the sense that, I mean, we won. I mean, but a lot of people will tell you that we just scraped that win because a lot of the decisions went in our favor against Brighton and Hove Albion. Obviously, I think one of the things that got us into this position were the results leading up to now. I mean, we're just almost like recovering or recuperating from a spate of very poor form in the last what you might call 5-6 matches. I think the seeds of regeneration, if you like, or revival,
Mm.
seem to have been planted in the second half of that game against Man United, and hope we kick on from there. I mean, talk us through the form if you don't mind,
Well,
Chuma.
Well, looking at it, you can say you first thing off the bat, you'd say, well, Liverpool have won three, drawn two, lost one, last six. Spurs have only won one, drawn three, lost two. Those draws, on a normal basis, those would have been wins for Spurs.
Absolutely,
And this is not me saying this like, to put down the teams, but if Spurs had been at their game, if Spurs had done what they should have done. Those games, including the loss to Bournemouth as well, I counted that as well. Those are 3 games I expected full points from. And Everything else, they lost to Newcastle, not by the scoreline. I could have expected it to draw with United, yes. Even the win against Brighton, of course, like you said, many would say it was ill-deserved, But then you look at Liverpool, and you're seeing the win against Forest. It was squeaky bum. The win against Everton deserved. They drew with Chelsea. They drew with Arsenal. And with all due respect, you look at us, and I would compare us to a Chelsea. I wouldn't compare us to an Arsenal, but compare us to a Chelsea, like in terms of how we can apply ourselves. The teams that they've beaten, I think Spurs are way better than. So I wouldn't expect them to replicate that kind of thing against us. So it's going to be a very interesting match. As much as their form is brilliant going in, they have been susceptible to a lot of attacks, and things happen to them. When they face, look at the matches where they've really suffered. Man City, and Arsenal, they were up against a very, very good forward line. Tottenham have a very good forward line. Let's see what happens. Like you said, the only problem for us is midfield, but that also happens to be their problem as well. So we're evenly matched, even though they have the better form.
Which kind of leads us to what I call like maybe like a predicted lineup for us. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, we've got quite. I mean, the folks who are injured on our team are probably those who are denoted in yellow. So if we look at this, we can sort of have what you might call like our own predicted lineup. Guys who are watching us from home, leave your comments in the comment section below and tell us whether or not you agree or disagree with our selection at the end of this. So I think what we'll do is Chuma and I will go for one player and I think we're probably going to go for a 3-4-3 formation, as is sort of deployed in the last few matches, and we found that them playing the 4-3-3 hasn't quite worked. Well, the last time they tried against Newcastle was an abject disaster. So I'm probably sure they won't try it again very, very quickly, But hey, what do you think?
Yeah, like I said, like I kept on saying on the group, there's a way of playing 4-3-3 that could have worked. Unfortunately, Christian Stellini doesn't do that way. So it didn't work out, but they'll never go back. It's the team is built to play wing backs. Stick to what you know till the end of the year. So very much 3-4-3.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, even if we wanted to play a fullback system at the moment, we probably don't have someone. Well, probably don't have the personnel at this point in time. We may well do if maybe Davies was was available.
Yeah,
Then perhaps maybe Emerson. I don't know.
I, so when I say play 4-3-3, like I said, the stuff I'm into is very, very weird, but it's lopsided. It's not the straightforward. You play two fullbacks. No, you can play wing backs, but where do you move the wing backs to? E.g., what Pep Guardiola and the rest of them are doing now. You turn your four defenders into three. One of your wing backs goes further forward to play in midfield. Someone like Pedro Porro. You play Davies as a wing back, but bring him back into the back three when you're in possession. It's just all these things are tactics that tactical managers are doing right now. They line up in one way, so you instantly think, "Oh, we're going to kill them." It's a 4-3-3. No, you're asking yourself how players like Kyle Walker can play for Pep and stuff, but they're not playing where they're supposed to be playing. They're playing in midfield more. Why? It creates more numbers. Stellini and these guys are not tactically up to date with that, so they can't do that. Your personnel matters to a point, but the fact you have defenders, you even have Tanganga who's played fullback, so he could literally play right back and turn into a back three, moving your and change the game. But unfortunately, we've never trained those tactics at Spurs. So stick to back three, same Dyer, same Romero, same Longley. I think it's going to be Longley again.
Right,
And
so let's have a quick look at the potential lineup that we sort of say, okay, fine. If you're a goalkeeper, I think Loris is still injured, according to reports, yeah?
yeah,
So likely we'll have Foster in goal, who by the way, made some really important saves or
wonderful
played
save.
really well in the last match. And one of the things about Foster in the last match, which a lot of people maybe didn't give him enough credit for was the what you might call the dead certain goal that Fernandez was in on, because if you think about it, one of the reasons why he tried to get it up was because of
Too
Foster.
tall.
Foster sort of made
Yes,
himself big,
he's too
so he
tall.
tried
Yeah,
to get it over him. So which essentially, obviously, narrowed the angle to a large
yeah,
extent. So that sort of
true.
made him force him into that error, if you like, So yes, I mean, good play from Foster. Thank you. Right, and thank you for preserving my birthday from making it a
Your
Saturday.
birthday.
you know. Right. In defense, I think you're going to play a back three, right? So who of this lot will be in that back three? Let's say back five, if you like, including Pro is more or less a dead certain in that position, right?
Well, yes. Yep.
Sanchez may be on the bench, yeah. So
Yes.
I think Sanchez will go on the bench. If we then say that Romero will probably play in that role on the right hand side of the back three, right?
Yes, indeed.
And now, what do you think is going to happen here? I think we'll keep Dyer there, or
He's going to play Dyer to the end of the season.
you think
He's
you
not going
might
to
go
drop.
with Longley there and have Davies on the other side?
No, he's not going to drop Dyer. That's where
Okay,
he
so
plays. That's where he plays favorites himself. He's not dropping Dyer, and he's not dropping the two undroppables are Dyer and Højbjerg.
so who's going to play, Longley or Davies?
I would say he's not going to. If he's not broke, don't try to fix it. So I think Davies will still be on the bench. Davies can be his little impact substitute because Davies can
Okay,
either go fullback or play left wing central. So I think Longley. So yeah, and Perisic
and
left wing
Perisic
back.
on the other side of that back five, right?
Yep.
Okay. Sessegnon is injured. Taganga will probably be on the bench if he plays at all, right?
Yep.
In the midfield, Bissouma is injured, so probably going to have a skip Højbjerg show, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, once again, yes.
Emerson is also injured, and Bentancur is also injured. Leaves us with attack. I think the dead certain there is Kane, and it's between Kulusevski, Richarlison, Danjuma, and Son. Now, he started with Richarlison at the last match, away at Anfield, being an Everton ex-Everton player. You think he might go on with Richarlison again, start with Richarlison again?
Richarlison created a lot of problems for Manchester United.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he's very low on confidence, but that he was just meant to cause chaos, and he did it very very well. And once again, he's going to do that again against Liverpool, and then the added bonus, like you said, of him being a former Evertonian. You know,
Yeah.
I every game I say he's going to score. This is the game that is prime for him to score, and um,
Right.
and and if you play him on the left side he takes advantage of Trent because I wrote it on the group that teams have been taking advantage of Trent Alexander-Arnold going into midfield more now. His wing is so open right now. And if you're playing someone like Richarlison there that can needle him, get him behind him, there's every opportunity that Richarlison can score in that game. So yeah,
So probably
Richarlison
have
left side.
Kulusevski on the bench, Richarlison playing that wing, right?
Um, actually, well, yeah, well, not playing Kulusevski's wing, but playing Son's wing. Son is now playing right instead. But yeah,
Right.
it
Okay.
will be so he's left
Oh,
side.
Trent's right back, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes, he's right back. Yeah, so it's going to be facing it's a Son that way. Danjuma bench. Danjuma and Kulusevski I think will come on at some point in
And
the
they're good
game.
impact subs as well. So
Oh, it was brilliant. Kulusevski did very well coming on.
yeah, he
I thought
did.
he
He
did.
really did. Right. So there we are. That's what most likely the lineup would be. Tell us what you think, guys, from home. If you're watching this, we'd love to see your comments and your thoughts on our proposed lineup. I think maybe I don't know. Kane will probably drop a little bit deeper, and come
Yeah,
from,
yeah,
from 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 the back. Right. So that looks like potentially how the lineup what is going to be like now. Um, scoreline. Now, it's a bit of a difficult one for me. I mean, I won't try, I'll try not to prejudge this. I won't influence you, if you like, and say that look, these things, how these things work in reality. You may have all this best play in the world, and when the crunch comes, you just don't get the chance to um, do the thing you want to do because a lot of things happen. But Liverpool on current form, how do you rate them? Because they're a really difficult team to play against. Because we haven't had a really really good record up there, haven't have we? And it's I mean so it's going to be a tough match. However you cut it, it's going to be a tough match.
Yeah, the player who I've noticed that is really coming to the fore now is Cody Gakpo. He's he's really embracing the Premier League now. He's like the player to watch out for in a very strange way. Salah's had an off form season where he still, I think, still scored more than 20 goals this season. But for someone like him, with his lofty standards, it's a bit low. Trent Alexander-Arnold is creating a lot of chances, but he's giving up defensively a lot of chances as well. It's not been the same for Liverpool, I think. It's not been the
Now,
same. But
sorry to
yeah, go ahead.
interrupt you, but you know, um, VVD, right, had this invisible thing about him when people sort of was Virgil van Dijk thinking, yes, I mean, you can't beat it, but he's been proven this season to be like not as good as I mean people make him out to be. And he's had a run around quite a few players, hasn't he? So what do you reckon?
It's midfield. It's the same. It's the same as you're talking about Dyer, you're talking about Romero and all these guys. If you had wonderful protection and a midfield scheme that worked, I mean, to be not to be disrespectful, but Spurs, as bad as we've been defensively, when Bentancur was playing, it wasn't really that bad. Wasn't really that bad. Why? Because Bentancur mops up very, very well. Højbjerg can do his workhorse thing, knowing Bentancur is next to him. But once we had, so it's the same thing with all defenders. When I rate defenders, I always like to see who's in front of you. If you don't have anyone solid in front of you and you're a great defender, then you're a great defender. When you have very great people and nothing really comes to you, and that's how I've always looked at Van Dijk. I like Van Dijk. I just never believed in the galactic greatest player, greatest defender thing. I've lived a life where I've seen great defenders. He's very, very good. He's great, but he's not one of those guys. And unfortunately, that's what the Premier League does to you at a point. Once your midfield lets you down, you get exposed. He's gotten exposed and he's getting dealt with. Like seriously. So that's it. Is what Liverpool midfield will come out. That's what Spurs should be afraid of. What midfield? If they come out a bit soft in midfield or light,
Mm-hmm.
Spurs can take advantage. So if you're asking me for a prediction right now, believe it or not, I'm going to go Optimus Prime because I think everybody thinks Spurs are going to get thrashed or whatever. I'm going to come out with a 2-1 to Spurs. I'm coming out 2-1 to Spurs. I don't know why. It's just been in my mind. 2-1 to Spurs.
Okay,
So
I'd always favor that. It's an extension of the birthday weekend. So yes, let's do this first. It's fantastic. We go there, no fear, and hopefully try to build on the results. I say from the second half of the last game, and yeah, play a bit of front foot football. You never know what you get from it.
exactly.
Yeah, and Liverpool haven't been in that great form over the course of this season, even though the form seems to be picking up. Rather slowly as well. But hey, I think we we are also beginning to pick up, even albeit a little slow. And we've had a new manager. Maybe part of it has to do with the new manager bounce. Who knows? Yeah. Let's see how it all unfolds. Scoreline: you said 2-1. I said 3-1 Tottenham. Tottenham.
Wow.
Sorry, Harry Kane. Harry Kane and Danjuma to come on and
Guy
score.
goes 3. Wow, that is ambitious. But yeah, why not?
Harry
It's
Kane.
your
Well,
birthday
not
after
just
all.
about Richarlison to score and Harry Kane and
Well,
Danjuma. Yes.
exactly. Richarlison to score. I
Yeah.
wish nothing.
Yeah.
I wish him the
Richarlison,
best.
Kane, and Danjuma. Yes. Those three. Would,
Wow. Oh wow. He's even
uh,
predicting the
I
scorers.
know, right?
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll catch up on the what's the word? We join us on the live stream on Sunday.
Live stream
I
tomorrow.
think it's 6:30. The match ends, doesn't it? So it's at 7:15.
Yeah.
We'll have the live stream where we have the verdict. We do match analysis and talk about the key moments, and then hopefully you join us then. Yeah. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.